You won't believe how a $250,000 plane can outrun jets and still haul more than most light aircraft. Turboprops are underrated, offering affordable ownership, serious performance, and range that rivals jets, all without bleeding your wallet dry. Cessna 402. And here's where it gets interesting. The Cessna 402 might look plain, almost workmanlike, but don't let that fool you. This twin-engine machine has been quietly hauling passengers and cargo since the late 1960s, earning a reputation as the pickup truck of turboprops. You can pick one up today for $250,000 to $350,000, basically the same as a fully loaded Land Rover, except this one actually flies. Inside, it's functional, not fancy. No leather recliners, no champagne compartments, just space. Room for 6 to 10 people depending on the configuration. The 402 cruises at around 200 miles per hour and can push about 700 nautical miles on a tank, which means serious trips without constant refueling. And the engines? Twin PT6s, legendary for their reliability. Any competent turbine mechanic can keep it humming, and spare parts are everywhere. You won't have to ship it across continents for routine fixes, which is a relief if you've ever wrestled with exotic European machines. What really hooks pilots is its versatility. Short field performance, dependable handling, and straightforward maintenance make it perfect for remote strips or frequent flights. It won't win style points, but it will never leave you stranded. For anyone chasing a capable, affordable turboprop, the 402 is the kind of aircraft that quietly earns respect. Solid, steady, and utterly dependable. Piper Cheyenne 1. And just when you think turboprops can't get any more comfortable, the Piper Cheyenne 1 steps in and flips expectations. Clean examples go for $300,000 to $400,000. And for that, you're not just buying a plane, you're stepping into something that feels like a small private jet. The cabin is pressurized, meaning 6 passengers can glide above the weather that makes smaller aircraft bounce around like ping-pong balls. Flying at 225 miles per hour with a ceiling of 24,000 feet, it gives you the sense of freedom that jets promise, without the jaw-dropping price tag. Under the hood, twin PT6 A11 engines push 620 horsepower each, delivering serious capability. 800 nautical miles of range means trips from LA to Denver or New York to Miami are just routine, not a stretch. And here's the kicker: the comfort. Compared to unpressurized planes, this cabin is a game changer. You're seated in a real, quiet space. The pressurization makes turbulence barely noticeable. It's like upgrading from coach to first class without paying the airline's premium. For pilots and passengers alike, the Cheyenne 1 isn't about flash. It's about capability and a smooth, controlled ride. Whether you're hopping over mountains or cutting through weather fronts, this aircraft keeps you above the chaos. In the world of affordable turboprops, it proves comfort and performance don't have to cost a fortune. Cessna 303 Crusader. Now, here's where it gets even stranger. The Cessna 303 Crusader doesn't scream luxury, but it quietly earns respect from anyone who values simplicity and efficiency. Priced between $200,000 and $300,000, this was originally a piston twin, but many models have been converted to turboprops. The 303T giving it performance and reliability that punch well above its weight. It seats 6 passengers and cruises at a solid 200 miles per hour. What makes it special is its short field performance. You can get this aircraft in and out of runways that would make bigger turboprops nervous. For bush operators, remote property owners, or anyone needing access to tricky strips, it's almost unfair how capable it is. Those turboprop conversions transform the 303, turning a simple, functional plane into a real workhorse. The charm of the Crusader is in its straightforwardness. No pressurization, no frills, just an aircraft that does its job exceptionally well. Reliability is high, operating costs are reasonable, and maintenance is simple. You can feel the practicality in every control input. It rewards skilled handling without overwhelming. For pilots who appreciate utility, efficiency, and a plane that gets the job done without drama, the Cessna 303 Crusader is a quiet champion. It doesn't beg for attention, but the moment you land on a strip others wouldn't dare, you realize exactly why it's earned a loyal following. Wait, you're watching right now, but not subscribed to the channel. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button so we can move on with the video. You did? Okay, cool. Now back to the planes. Beechcraft Duke, and this one might surprise you. The Beechcraft Duke started life as a piston twin with a fearsome reputation. Pilots called it the Doctor Killer because of how unforgiving it could be. But the story didn't end there. Modern PT-6 turboprop conversions have completely transformed this aircraft, turning a once tricky plane into a capable, reliable cross-country machine. Prices today range from $350,000 to $500,000, and for that, you're getting speed and range that feel almost unfair for the money. Cruising at 250 miles per hour and capable of over 1,000 nautical miles, the Duke now blends the thrill of speed with the practicality of a turboprop. The conversion smooths out the old reliability concerns, and suddenly, that legendary handling becomes an asset rather than a hazard. Pilots who once approached it cautiously now marvel at how it almost feels like a near-pressurized turboprop, comfortable over long distances and above most weather systems. What really hooks you is the speed-to-cost ratio. Few planes can cover coast-to-coast distances this efficiently without demanding a jet-sized budget. The cabin is snug but functional, a space that rewards smart use rather than indulgence. If you've ever wanted the punch of a performance twin without bleeding money on fuel or maintenance, the Duke proves that a little transformation can turn a notorious past into an astonishing present. Cessna 421 Golden Eagle. And just when you think you've seen it all, the Cessna 421 Golden Eagle steps into view. Market prices range from $300,000 to $500,000, and for that, you're stepping into a pressurized cabin-class twin that blends comfort, performance, and value in a way few aircraft can match. Seating 6 to 8 passengers, it cruises at 230 miles per hour and climbs to 30,000 feet, putting you above most weather and turbulence that would rattle smaller planes. The stand-up cabin immediately changes the experience. You're not cramped in a tiny box. It feels more like a small private living room in the sky. And with PT-6 conversions on many models, reliability and efficiency have taken a massive leap forward. One fuel stop, and you can cross the country without breaking a sweat. It's coast-to-coast capability in an affordable, practical package. What really sells the 421 is how it balances luxury and value. You get jet-like cruising altitudes and pressurization without the jaw-dropping operating costs of a mid-size jet. For pilots who want to combine comfort, long-range capability, and a plane that inspires confidence, the Golden Eagle delivers. It's not flashy, but it doesn't have to be. The performance speaks for itself, and every mile flown feels like a smart choice rather than a compromise. Piper Navajo. And here's a plane that quietly earns respect wherever it lands. The Piper Navajo. With prices ranging from $150,000 to $400,000, it's the kind of multi-engine aircraft that gives serious capability without draining your wallet. Seating 6 to 8 passengers, cruising at a steady 200 miles per hour, and covering about 900 nautical miles, it's the workhorse pilots dream about for building time, charter operations, or even small airline service. What really tells the story of the Navajo is its history. It's been a staple for commuter airlines, air ambulances, and cargo operators for decades. That legacy isn't just nostalgia, it proves reliability and versatility. Unpressurized, yes, but that simplicity keeps operating costs low and maintenance straightforward. Turboprop conversions have elevated their performance even further, adding fuel efficiency, improved climb rates, and turbine reliability that turn them into a small, practical powerhouse. Flying the Navajo feels like stepping into a machine designed to get the job done without fuss. The cabin isn't luxurious, but it's efficient, spacious enough for passengers, and built to handle serious travel. For anyone chasing a budget-friendly, multi-engine plane with real-world versatility, the Navajo checks all the boxes. You get capability, reliability, and practicality. Everything you need to get airborne without compromise. Cessna 414 Chancellor. Now, the sweet spot between affordability and capability. The Cessna 414 Chancellor. Priced between $300,000 and $500,000, this pressurized twin isn't just about speed or range. It's about turning every flight into a comfortable, productive experience. Seating 6 to 8 passengers, cruising at 225 miles per hour, and reaching a ceiling of 30,000 feet, it's capable of a serious distance, roughly 1,000 nautical miles, on a single journey. Originally powered by Continental piston engines, many 414s have been converted to PT6 turboprops, boosting reliability and smoothing out what used to be a finicky setup. The pressurized cabin is a standout. Enough room to work, meet, or relax while crossing the country. Jet-like performance, without the eye-watering operating costs of a mid-size jet, makes it an irresistible option for pilots who want both efficiency and comfort. Flying, the Chancellor feels purposeful. You're above most weather systems, moving efficiently and confidently, and passengers notice the difference immediately. It's practical, dependable, and refined, a rare mix at this price point. For anyone serious about cross-country trips or executive travel on a budget, the 414 proves you don't need to spend 7 figures to fly like a pro. This is a plane that rewards planning, respects your wallet, and still feels like a small private jet every time you lift off. Beechcraft Baron. And here's one that pilots talk about in hushed, respectful tones. the Beechcraft Baron. Priced between $300,000 and $550,000, this gentleman's twin has always balanced elegance and raw capability. Originally a piston twin, many Barons have been converted to turboprops, giving them turbine reliability, stronger climb performance, and the kind of handling that makes pilots fall in love all over again. Seating 4 to 6 passengers, with a range of about 1,000 nautical miles, it's compact, but surprisingly capable. The Baron climbs like a rocket, responds like a fighter, and yet carries enough people or cargo to make each trip meaningful. The turboprop conversions aren't just about power. They transform the aircraft into a serious cross-country machine, combining speed, efficiency, and reliability. What really sets the Baron apart is the feel in the cockpit. Pilots describe it as responsive, smooth, and rewarding. You're constantly aware of the aircraft's capability but never fighting it. It's the type of plane where skill and aircraft work together, creating an almost symbiotic experience. Whether hopping between cities or cruising across regions, the Baron delivers a performance that feels both sophisticated and exhilarating. For those who value precision, capability, and a plane that commands respect, the Baron sits near the top of the turboprop hierarchy, and it earns every bit of its reputation. Piper Aztec. And this one quietly punches above its weight, the Piper Aztec. With a price tag from $250,000 to $400,000, it's a plane that blends affordability, capability, and reliability into a package that still surprises experienced pilots. Seating 6 passengers and cruising at around 200 miles per hour, it can stretch roughly 900 nautical miles without a hiccup, making it ideal for long trips without the jet-level expense. What makes the Aztec special is its forgiving flight characteristics. It's been a training platform for decades, teaching pilots multi-engine skills without being overly punishing. The rugged landing gear and robust airframe let it handle rough strips and bush operations with confidence, turning tricky runways into routine stops. Turboprop conversions further elevate the aircraft, improving reliability, reducing noise, and giving it a more turbine-like performance that punches above its original design. Flying the Aztec feels approachable, yet capable. It's the kind of aircraft that teaches pilots the ropes while rewarding experience with smooth handling and solid performance. For anyone moving from pistons to turbines, it's a perfect stepping stone. You get the thrill of turbine reliability, practical short-field performance, and a cockpit that feels intuitive. In a world where high-end turboprops demand a small fortune, the Piper Aztec quietly proves you don't need to spend millions to get serious capability. Cessna 337 Super Skywagon. And finally, the crown jewel, the Cessna 337 Super Skywagon. Starting at just $150,000, with fully modernized examples topping out around $300,000, this plane is an absolute revelation. Converted to turboprop power with a Honeywell TPE 331 engine, it cruises at 175 miles per hour and covers over 800 nautical miles, but speed isn't the only story. What makes the Skywagon extraordinary is its sheer versatility. It can carry over 2,000 pounds of cargo or comfortably seat 6 passengers, thanks to its massive cargo door and rugged construction. Short field performance? Exceptional. Bush operations? A dream. It's an aircraft that goes where others won't even dare, quietly outperforming many light jets at a fraction of the cost. The cockpit feels utilitarian but intuitive. Every control, every gauge screams purpose. Pilots love it because it rewards skill, reliability, and practicality over flash. This is a plane for someone who values capability over glitz, for operators who want a machine that works as hard as they do. The Skywagon is the best-kept secret in aviation. Affordable, capable, and endlessly versatile. When you look at price, performance, and utility combined, it's easy to see why it earns the #1 spot on this list. Turboprops deliver unmatched value, blending affordability, capability, and practicality that often surpasses light jets. From cross-country trips to rugged bush landings, each aircraft proves you don't need a fortune to fly smart. Which one would you choose? Comment below, and if you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe. More surprises await.